I think it'd be really cool if it worked out that I had a male and a female. After everything else you just saw in this video, I picked up that guy right there. Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farm, and I just got another 125-gallon tank. That gives me 5 aquariums that are more than 100 gallons, a total of 18 aquariums that hold 1,200 gallons of water. So you could say I have multiple tank syndrome. But the only thing I love more than aquariums and fish is getting a great deal on them. This aquarium with the stand and the lights and the heaters and Inkbird controllers and a Fluval FX6 and some fish, the entire package was $300. And with all of these big aquariums, $300 makes this the most expensive fish tank in my fish room. Now, I've made a bunch of videos about the aquariums in here, but there are a bunch of fish that I have never shown you. I've got some tanks I haven't shown, some species I haven't shown, and this aquarium is going to be the home to 2 fish that are about 1 inch long. And I think they need this much space, honestly. I've always wanted this species. I'm pulling at both ends on the aquarium hobby. So largely, you see me a lot talk about these types of tanks that are natural aquariums with a dirt substrate and packed full of plants. You know, this one is discus. But I also have tanks like this with fish like that Midas that kept biting my hand today, and the arowana, and the flower horn, and the jaguar. And then you come over here and we have another community tank that's aquascaped. We've got a little bit of everything in here. Rainbow fish and clown loaches. We've got bala sharks and dwarf gouramis. And over here we have all these little breeding colonies of shrimp. I've got shrimp everywhere. I mean, what is that? Hundreds of shrimp in there? Now, these are super low maintenance aquariums that I never mess with. Of course, we've got Senior Froggy here. Up here we have a couple breeding pairs. We've got lots of baby cichlids. We've also got baby cichlids down here on the bottom. But what I want to show you today is some fish that I haven't shown on the channel yet. And these are the fish going in the new tank. I also want to show you a new type of filter and a new light that I have never tried before. These are a different brand. We're going to see if they're any good. So I've got the camera down here, and the lighting on this is not great, but I want to see if any of you guys right now, if you pause the camera, if you can spot what kind of fish these are. So I think I may have shown these guys before that have the spots on them. This one has a totally different look to it. I think this one may be bullied or a runt. So these polka dot fish here, they're starting to get stripes. Those are Tropheus du Bois. They are a really cool African cichlid. Kind of peaceful, a little bit on the smaller side. And I've got a group of 5 of those that I'm hoping to get breeding pairs out of. But then this other fish, can anyone tell me what the other fish in here is? They're hiding. Now these little guys, I special ordered and I waited on, because these are the true monsters. These are the biggest, most aggressive fish in my whole fish room. Anyone have an idea what those 2 fish are? Now, they don't even look the same, but those are the same species. I'm hoping that that's a male and a female, but it could be the dominant and the subdominant, if that's the correct term. So these guys, before long, those 2 would kill all these Tropheus. So we're going to get them out of here, put them in the 125, and tell you what they are. I'm really curious if anybody is going to guess what type of fish that is that would require a tank this size, and that I'm not growing them out somewhere else. I want them in here right now so they can reach their full potential. And I think growing them out, they've almost got to be by themselves. I think these fish are that mean. Now, if I put them right now in the 210 gallon, they might just be a snack, and they might just get eaten. But if they are anywhere close to the same size as the other fish they're kept with, I think they're going to to bully anything I put in with them. So I want these two fish to reach their full potential, so I'm giving them all of this space. And eventually, this 125 gallon won't be big enough. Not even for one of them, let alone two. But I'm curious if any of you guys can guess what fish that is. And of course, I am going to tell you. But first, we're going to finish getting the tank set up. So I bought this, and it had no decor in it, except it came with this really nice piece of driftwood. And then I had some slate, and all of this Vallisneria here, all of this jungle val. It's like a ribbon. All of this, there's like 50 of those. All of that came out of one shrimp tank on the other side of the room. And then I stole some water lettuce off of another tank and some hornwort off of another tank. So this has my normal process. I put down a layer of potting soil, then I capped it with sand, then I put some mid-size rock on it, and then I put big rock on it. And now we've got a basic aquascape. It's planted. Every plant in this came out of another tank. All the substrate came from leftovers from other setups. I've spent nothing on this except for the $300. Now, I've got some more products here. Now, to be fair, I could run it exactly like it is. And there's a Fluval FX6 setting behind it that we need to put on. And that would be enough filtration. This tank has everything it needs, except I want to do a little bit more, and the reason is Vevor is a company that sponsors my main channel. They've sent me a lot of products, and I've been really happy with them. And one day I was scrolling through looking at products that I might need for my primary business, and I saw that they had aquarium stuff. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if this Vevor aquarium products are any good. So I emailed them and asked them to send me a light and a filter. So we're going to add a Vevor light and Vevor filter. And I've had all different types of filters from every single brand, every kind of filter you could ever imagine. I've got 8 or 9 canister filters in here, 2 sumps, hang on the back, sponges, under gravel. I have every kind of filter running in this fish room. So I want to check out the Vevor filter and the Vevor light real quick. That'll give you guys time to guess what kind of fish is in here. So I've actually never used a Vevor aquarium light. Like I said, I didn't even know they made aquarium stuff. But my experience with Vevor as a company is they make really affordable products that just work. So I assume this is no different. Now, I used to, for years and years, every morning, first thing I did was get up and turn on the aquarium light. And then the last thing I did at night was turn off the aquarium lights. With all these tanks, and it's not even in my house, the last thing I want to be doing is manually turning lights on and off. So with some lights on some of these tanks, I had to buy timers. And the timers I use are like 25 bucks. You can get them cheaper, but that's an extra expense. So anytime your light has the timer built into it, that's a cost savings. Yeah, and this very clearly has the daylight settings on it. That's my favorite kind of lights. Whenever in the morning they give you a reddish color, in the middle of the day they give you a bright white light, and then at the end of the day they give you kind of a bluish light to simulate like the moon. And that gives a natural spectrum of light for the plants. So that looks like what this one is. Okay, so it came on when I plugged it in. Now I've got everything on, I think. See if we can do daylight here. Do 12-hour daylight. So that is when you turn it on full. It's like blinding. Let's just leave it on that for now because it's night, and tomorrow morning I'll come in here and put it on the daylight setting. And this aquarium came with this light. I don't know what brand it is. Oh yeah, that sucker's really lit up now. I will put this light that came with it. This light doesn't have a timer, so I'll put it on a timer, and then I'll put that Vevor light on the daylight timer. So I'll have one light that just comes on at 10 a.m. and goes off at 10 p.m. And then the other light will run the full spectrum. I wish all my lights were full spectrum like this Vevor light, but beggars can't be choosers. Now these fish that I just put in here are the type that will completely rearrange a tank. They're diggers. They like to move rocks around, but they're not big enough yet to do that. Fish that are like that, it's really hard to have them in a planted tank like this. But I love planted tanks. So what I'm trying to do is all of the plants have a big heavy rock in front of them. So I put all this heavy stuff in here, like this giant piece of slate that weighs 25 pounds. The fish isn't gonna move that. So I planted rocks right in behind it where maybe, planted plants right in behind the rocks where maybe they won't get dug out. And the plants can spread their root system before the fish get big enough to start rearranging. That's the hope anyway. Worst case scenario, I'll have a nice planted aquarium until the fish get big. Ah, this filter has a UV light. I recognize that right away. I've had other filters with UV lights. That's what that glass tube is for, to hold the light bulb. So this Vivor filter looks very familiar to me. I mean, slight differences. This orange area, sorry guys, I don't read instructions. This orange area will be where the UV light goes. Probably. Nope, that's the primer. My bad. Prime. So I don't think, I've only got one filter that has a primer on it. UVC, it says right there. So it definitely has the UV sterilizer. See what kind of filter media we have in here. Got a sponge, another sponge, another sponge. So I wish it came with some filter media. Oh, this one's heavier. I think this one does have the bio balls in it. If I had any bio balls handy, I would probably pull this black sponge out and put bio balls in there. But I guess I'll just have to wait and do that in the future. So we'll leave it with the media that it came with. Okay, I went to the instructions because I was trying to figure out how to do the UV light. It's in here, and you don't have to do anything with it. When you do maintenance, if you have to replace this, you pull a screw out there, you pull this off, and clean the impeller, and you can get to the UV bulb. But as it is, when it comes in new, it's set up and ready to go. So I just put it back together, rinse it out, put water in it, put it back together, and then we're gonna put the hoses on it. I'm not going to do a detailed thing on how to put this together. It's super simple. This stuff snaps together like Legos, like you don't have to read the instructions to see it. That extra tube that I wasn't sure about is when you need to replace the bulb. That's what that's for. There is a close-up look at one of the black nasties in this aquarium. They're being pretty shy right now. They don't like being moved. They're juveniles. But all of that will change. This is going to be a fish that you can't stick your hand in or it'll bite your hand. These fish are very aggressive. They have big personalities. And I can't wait to see them get bigger. Yeah, there's the other one. All right, we've got them both in the shot now. Sorry about the glare. I'm hoping, I think it'd be really cool if it worked out that I had a male and a female. I've got two small catfish in here that are the right size to pair with these for today. But those catfish max out at about 12 inches. Oh, there's one of them. Right there. That's a golden Synodontis, and the other is an Indian sun catfish. So there are the monsters that are tiny in this big tank. But they are going to be monsters. After everything else you just saw in this video, I picked up that guy right there, which is a Colombian snowball pleco. Beautiful plecostomus that gets to about 6 or 7 inches. Okay, so there is how the new aquarium looks. $300, and it had everything it needed. I did not have to add filtration and lighting, but I thought it would enhance it, so I did. And I got those sent to me, so I didn't buy them. The only other thing I spent money on was $70 for a set of new glass lids. So this tank cost me $370. If I had paid for the light and the filter, it would have been maybe $450. But in general, I just love getting these big aquariums cheap. So the black nasty cichlid, in temperament and size and appearance, the closest relatives it has would probably be the jaguar cichlid, which I already have a jaguar in the 210 gallon, or the dovi, known as the wolf cichlid. And they're some of the biggest, meanest, most aggressive aquarium fish you can get. Not necessarily biggest. There are aquarium fish that get so big they shouldn't really be in an aquarium. But within reason, this is one of the meanest, most aggressive fish you can get. I believe I have a male and a female. We'll find out over time. Hopefully I can grow them up in this tank and breed them and eventually move them into a bigger tank. So really excited about it. I think for something I threw together so quickly, I think it's a nice looking tank. Let me know what you guys think about this aquarium. I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.